Hi guys, and welcome back to another first impressions video. Today I'm going to do a first impressions review on the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and this one is in 310. This bottle contains 30ml of product and contains SPF 18, so there might be some minimal flashback. I have tried this foundation in the past. This one is in 320, but I was never really this colour, even in the summer. When I bought this foundation, I was under the assumption that I would be this colour in the summer, but this is really dark. So I've never really been able to wear this foundation as an all-over colour. I used to mix this in with lighter foundations, and that's how I basically used the darker shade. They had a price line, so we'll go with that. And for the application, I'm going to be using a MAC 187, which is basically a duo stippling brush. And just to let you guys know, my skin type is normal, a little bit oily in the T-zone, especially in the summer, but now it's winter. And for you guys that are, you know, fragrant phobes or just don't really like fragrances in your foundation, it just has a normal foundation smell. And from memory, this foundation is very liquidy. Well, not very liquidy, there you go. It's slightly runny. So I've got some on my brush. I'm just going to stipple and swirl. This foundation blends in really well. So that's one layer of the foundation, and I'm quite impressed. It's taken care of my under eye circles, which you could have seen earlier in the video, and in terms of my 5 o'clock shadow, it's done a decent job in covering it up. I know in the camera it still looks quite apparent, but in real life it isn't. But to add another layer of the foundation just to see how buildable it is. And from what I can see, it's done a decent job at covering my under eye circles, but they're still quite prominent because they're quite dark, and I'm not satisfied with this amount of coverage there, so I will apply foundation. So I will apply concealer, which is per usual anyway when I apply foundation anyway. And in terms of my 5 o'clock shadow, I think on camera you still can see it, which is quite annoying, but in real life I would probably get away without wearing any concealer finish. It's not sticky, it's a demi matte finish, and I should definitely suggest to powder this. And I'm going to apply some concealer, as I usually do wear concealer anyway. I'm going to use a cream concealer underneath the eyes and a liquid one on my 5 o'clock shadow, just to give you guys an impression on how it blends well with other types of concealers. Pretty happy with it. Okay, now I'm going to set the foundation with a powder. What I'm using is by Australis, and this one is a translucent powder. And the reason why I chose a translucent one is because I've heard that this foundation does oxidize ever so slightly, so I don't really want to disrupt the colour change by I really don't want to disrupt the colour change by adding a powder with some colour. So much powder everywhere. I've already set it, and this isn't going to be like the normal first impressions where there's going to be a huge time lapse, because I don't have time for that tonight. What I'm just going to do is let this makeup set on my face for roughly an hour. I'm going to have some dinner and film another tutorial and show you guys if the foundation has oxidized during that time span. So I'll see you guys in a bit. And I am back. So I've had this foundation on for roughly an hour. I've had dinner, and I did this look for a tutorial. If you guys want to see how I did this look, I'll leave a link here. But I've roughly had this foundation for an hour, and as I was applying my eye makeup, I did notice that the foundation started to oxidize ever so slightly. By the time I finished the tutorial and checked the footage if it was all okay, I did notice the foundation did darken, it did oxidize. I'd probably say it oxidized half a shade or a shade darker, which to me isn't a problem, because when I first applied the foundation I did notice that the foundation was a little bit too light for me, but now it's just the perfect colour. And I do have the heater on, so it's a little bit warm, so I'm quite surprised that it hasn't oiled up. I will do a proper review in a month's time or so, just so that I can try out the foundation, use it with different primers, moisturisers, different brushes and different types of makeup that I have, like blushes and all that. But I can't really recommend it just yet. Just wait for the review proper, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts about it. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys again next time. Bye bye.